Hi Capricorn, welcome to your June reading. This is Barefood Mama Intuitive Reading. If you are returning, thank you so much for being here. And if you are viewing me for the first time, thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you like this video and like the video so my channel can grow. You can also enter to win a free reading on 6/6 by putting free reading in the comments or book a personal with me on my Etsy. All the information for that is down below, as well as the link to my yoga channel if you like to do yoga. So let's go. All right, Capricorn. So I got this inclination to use the past life deck for you for this month. I was kind of getting into a vibe with like a specific kind of reading for the signs, and then I came to your reading and it was like, nope, past life. So Spirit, please protect this reading. Send any negative energy back to sender, transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. I repeat, please send all negative energy back to sender, transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. Archangel Michael, please cut any cords tying my Capricorn collective to negative spiritual entities, any past life experiences that are unnecessary now. And Mother Mary, please bring compassion through to this reading. Amen. Amen. So mote it be. Okay, this is really interesting. You have the first two cards that came out were near death experience between lives. This is astral experiences. And I've actually never seen this card before. It's pretty cool. Out of body experiences, near death experiences, post life review, between lives. And this came out with discrimination, social, sexual, religious, or limitations or disease. You have earth disaster, building collapse, earthquake, animal attack, or drought. And you have LGBTQ love, secret faith, the trauma of being a witness or a bystander. The location is in India, death and old age. The lesson is peace, time frame late middle ages, and the identity is father. So what I'm getting from this is that you may have been like a sage or some sort of guru in India in a past life whose lesson, like maybe you experienced, like maybe you were a Buddhist, um and you lived through one of those, like an invasion from a country that holds more dogmatic religious beliefs. You experience discrimination. I'm getting the image of that man, that's Tibetan Buddhist, I believe he was, who burned himself alive. There's a photo of it. Instead of being taken, this was his form of peaceful protest. And of course, I'm not advocating for anything like that in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that whoever you were in a past life, drought, that's interesting. You may have had astral experiences in this life that echo the energies of that past life. Discrimination, if you are or you identify as being part of the LGBTQ community, this may be like discrimination that you've experienced in this life, may be some stuff that's karmically been carried over from that like previous life trauma, or somebody in your family like brought that previous life trauma. Drought. The drought here is telling me like to just make sure you drink a lot of water. Like your body might sort of be resistant to things like caffeine, or sugar. I'm drinking coffee right now, but You may also be the kind of person who has alternative religious beliefs than the norm. Like, say you might be like a Satanist or something like that. Um, and I don't cast judgment regarding people's religious things. I think basically as long as you're not trying to tell somebody else that they're wrong or casting judgment on other people or you're not hurting anybody, I don't what you believe what you're going to believe. And I think I believe that in terms of Satanism, I could totally be wrong, but I think that Satanism is like it's more of an understanding of the literal lessons that like Satan brought to humanity were like necessary experiences to create the duality of like light and dark to like hold the balance of the universe, and he sort of willingly took on that burden because without Satan there wouldn't be God, kind of thing. I again could be totally wrong, but whoever you are, whatever you believe in, it's different than the people around you, and you've experienced discrimination because of it, and you've had potentially like cognitive dissonance, astral experiences, encounters with beings in the astral realms because of because of these that's interesting, because of the belief system itself that you're in, but also because the discrimination from people around you who don't believe in that. So there's definitely this energy of like, if you didn't believe in the astral realm or you didn't believe in the things that you could encounter in the astral realm or you didn't pay any attention to those things, like they wouldn't have happened. So you came into this life with an understanding of astral travel, with an understanding of multiple like subtle bodies and along with the gross body somehow. Like you came into this life with spiritual knowledge. Again, you could have been like a guru or a spiritual teacher in a past life who experienced the trauma of being displaced by like a fascist dictatorship or something. Sorry, I put the tower down and then the dryer went off. Big alarm there. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle this a little bit better. I'm just being drawn to do that. Okay, so the tower in your energies for June, Five of Wands reversed. I get that you're having some sort of major belief system awakening here. Something about your belief system. Hmm. So, the Capricorn collective has kind of been going through it. I don't know that June is necessarily an exception, except there are some good things here. So, in the tower moment here, you may just be realizing that like what you've been encountering in the 3D is a grounding of astral experiences. And this might be a total trip for you. Like, I don't know. I'm getting the sense that whoever I'm speaking to, like, you have a certain belief system, and maybe it was more intellectualized than like experienced, and you begin to experience what has been previously or heretofore like intellectualized, and that could very well be like encountering an entity or having some sort of like dream that then is like reflected in your reality the next day. I don't know, psychic experiences. This is, oh, maybe a near death experience as well. Of course, I'm not wishing that on anybody by any means, and I hope not. This is though like there's a moment in his book, what's his name? It's called Becoming, Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has a book called Becoming Supernatural. And there's a moment in which he talks about the realization of a past life. And he, in his past life, was like on one of those crank things that there's two cranks on either side, and the hands are tied on one and the feet are tied on the other, and it like stretches the person apart. And he relays this experience and this realization, and it's like really disturbing. And I almost get that you might be having a moment like this, like with some sort of like somatic release or consciousness like opening, where your past life reveals itself to you, or the astral reveals itself to you, or something out of the ordinary becomes very undeniable in your reality. And it's just like, whoa. It is allowing you to enter witness consciousness, and it might be the kind of thing that you keep secret, that you don't want to tell anybody. You're like, oh, I'm good, this is my experience. I don't need to tell anybody about this because they're going to see me as crazy. King of Cups reverse. Like, you're afraid people will see you as emotionally unstable for sharing this, um, because you've experienced discrimination in this life and in the past, and in past lives. So it's interesting with the star energy in your incoming energies. This is like your crowning energy, because you want, I think, to be able to relay the reality of this experience to those around you without experiencing discrimination. You want people to be more open minded socially to these concepts. And I feel like we live in a time when people are more open to that sort of thing than ever, than even potentially in the 60s, even potentially like in the 40s and 50s, when there was all of that UFO like scare stuff going on in America. Like, this is the time that we live in now. People are very, very open to things like that, at least where I'm at. Uh, and online, right? Like, you can find almost any community to validate your experience online somewhere. I think you want to be seen for these experiences too. Like, you want this experience to be recognized. Maybe you were abducted. Maybe you had an encounter of the third or fourth or fifth kind, and you want to connect with Dr. Greer. Is that his name? Bob Greer? I think that's his name. The guy that does the alien documentaries. This reading is so interesting. This is not like any of the other readings I've done for this month. Just want to throw that out there. But you might be wanting to connect with other people who've had experiences like these, out of body experiences, abduction experiences, psychic experiences, so on and so forth. But you're having some, with the Queen of Swords and the outcome reverse, you're having some difficulty finding clarity, about, for one, maybe how to do this. Two, for how to like disconnect the cords that hold you to these past experiences or past traumas from previous lifetimes. Like, you'd like to move forward, but there's this just visceral, like entrenched fear of being seen in this light or in these communities somehow. Taking it from the intellectual into the material, there's a level of commitment there that makes you feel like a fear of emotional instability. Again, that concept that you can find almost any kind of community on the internet to help you like validate your experience. It actually might be counterintuitively creating a space for you where you're wondering if you're just joining the crazies, if that, okay. What's this King of Cups reverse? Justice. Might be dealing with a Libra. Or you might be dealing with some sort of legal situation. Like if you had a near death experience. I actually have a Capricorn friend who was in a car crash very recently and is dealing with some stuff in the like trying to figure out like how do I, you know, get in contact with the right lawyer to have the person who hit her car, for instance, like pay her money to replace the car, and also, you know, um just also making sure she's stable. So it's interesting, but and she's doing well. So um she is getting better and she's doing better, but this is something she's dealing with. So I could be picking up on just her energy, or you know, somebody in the collective. Maybe you have experienced something as well, like a near death experience where you're having to like sue, um or maybe you had some sort of, with King of Cups reversed and Justice upright, you may have, with the energy in this reading, like you may have gone to somebody for therapy or something, or like hypnotherapy or some sort of alternative therapist, and experienced like something that made it worse, and you might be suing for like medical malpractice or something here. You could have joined in with a community, and Five of Wands reverse, King of Cups reverse, realized that it was like a cult or something, and you were like, I'm getting out of this, no, I'm good. And you're sort of taking the time this month to understand like where being a part of a community like that has created confusion for you. What a trippy out there reading. I don't know. I wouldn't. I was gonna. I was gonna say like I wouldn't. I'm not surprised that this is your reading, Capricorn. For one, I am surprised by the reading itself, but I'm not surprised that this reading is for you, um, because Capricorns are intense and intelligent, and you explore the boundaries. You're like reporters. You're journalists. You're curious, especially about the tangential linear, like, or not linear, liminal is what I was trying to say, in between things. So the fact that you have like astral stuff and near death experiences and all that is really interesting. I'm also hearing that if you're a writer or like a journalist and you wrote something on near death experiences or the afterlife, or alien encounters, anything like that, somebody could be trying to sue you for like wrong information or something. And you're like, well, we don't know what comes after death, so how could this be wrong information? I don't know. Like, you might have to kind of defend yourself this month, against some emotionally unstable person's accusations. The devil, here you are showing up, in your own reading, in your crowning energies with the star. You just want to like, you just want to be seen. But I keep getting that. Like, you just want to be seen for who you are. And you want people to be able to see past the apparent, like, devilish aspect of this representation of Capricorn, right? Like, you're tired of people around you seeing things on the surface and not wanting to think any more critically about what's underneath. Like, you're tired of being taken at face value. Um, because I get that you may also be the kind of person who dresses in a certain way to test people. Like, is this person going to see the way I look and judge my inner personality based on that? Because if they do, they're not worth my time. Like, you could have like an emo look or something really alternative, and it just sort of puts you in a place where certain people don't approach. And I'm actually getting that you might make a social experiment out of this month. You might like completely change your look overnight just to see what happens. What happens if I dress like literally, maybe, I'm this is so interesting. Like, for every day of the month, you might put on a different outfit or like a different um persona basically, and just record it and just see, like, just write it down, or like even like record it, just walk around with a phone and like for 30 days just record the different reactions of people to you based on how you look. What an interesting social experiment. Whoa. Whoever you are, if you're doing this, please let me know. I want to see it. I want to see this experiment. That's so cool. Yeah, just just to see like what's underneath. Like, you want people to see that, and you're tired of being taken at this bullshit face value, especially if you're being accused of something by some emotionally unstable person because of your belief systems. You're like, whatever. Okay. So I want to know though, you may also be doing research into like how cults form around the things we don't know in the astral or near death experiences or the afterlife. Like, you could even be writing something highly controversial about how the church could be conceived of as a cult. Something like that is what I'm getting. And some people are not going to like this, but I feel like you are needing to get it out. You are needing to be seen. You are needing to step into your own this month, and you are doing that regardless of what other people want. All right. Okay, the Queen of Swords reversed, the Four of Cups. So you might, as you do this, it's not going to be whatever it is that you're doing to step into this, like, I am here energy, right? There's going to be resistance, and it's going to create confusion um, for you, where it's like emotionally, you're like, I feel like something's missing. And it might be coming from that place. Like, I feel like something's missing. What is missing here? What am I not seeing? Um, and it has to do with spirit, because the Queen of Swords has her crown chakra open, right? She's transmuting and transmitting even energy from spirit. And there's this sword here, which is essentially the sword of judgment. She can either, cut somebody's head off, or she can divvy out mercy. And that's kind of her either or, like walking the fine line, which is a heavy responsibility. But this is backwards. And then you have another person holding a sword here, justice, somebody facing something straight on. And I just think it's really interesting that there's a sword here and the scales of justice, and then a sword here, and then the mala beads, the prayer beads. There's something here about the difference between spiritual concepts and mentalized concepts or intellectualized concepts versus how they're practiced in reality. And it's something you're exploring, whether it's in yourself or in the collective through these interesting, like, anthropological social experiments, like the one we just sort of talked about. Yeah, you're examining this month. What is the Four of Cups? Death reverse. You have 3 Scorpio energies here, 2 major arcana and 1 King of Cups reversed. So something may have happened in Scorpio season, and you could be dealing with Scorpio. And then there's something here about transmutation. Death reversed is stagnation. It's something that can't be, it's like not being let go, not letting go. Again, you have this past life energy stuff coming through. What's advice for my Capricorn regarding this? Capricorns, the Four of Wands. Okay, this is interesting. So the Four of Wands talks about celebration and community. It's also a gateway card, the 1111 card, and can mean your twin flame if you believe in something like that. But regarding this reading specifically, I see that this gap between the spiritual, the mental, and the 3D is, it's like knit together for you in how it's received by the collective. So you could have these astral near death experiences that are your personal sort of experiences, right? And you may keep them secret. And then you go to look around in the collective to see, like, do other people have these experiences? And you find out yes they do, or no they don't. And it's sort of like you begin to understand. Again, we had that story about you putting on a different outfit each day and seeing the different responses that people have each day. And you sort of begin to understand, like, there is no objective reality. There's just like the human condition and experiences, and we sort of go to find where our community is, or we sort of work to validate each other's stories, um, on some similar wavelength, to feel seen, to feel seen. And you're looking for your community. You have the Four of Cups to the Four of Wands, 4-4 here. You're looking for a community that will celebrate you as you are, and who celebrates the same understanding of reality that you do, and a community that can help you ground your ideas into the 3D and transmute your 3D experience into the 5D in a way that doesn't make you feel invalidated or crazy or discriminated against. Yeah. Wow. What whoever I'm talking to, you're a really deep thinker. You're so intelligent. You're so beautiful. You're perfect the way you are. And this June is going to be a time of, I think, reconciling the mixed messages you've been getting from your community with the messages that are coming to you internally, emotionally, and spiritually, and really finding a way to seek out the right kind of community for you to feel like your own sense of divinity, your own sense of being seen. I hope that this was helpful for you. I am going to draw one universal truth card for you. Just a little saying. These cards they have these little sayings on them that are kind of silly, but I like them. Relationship. Oh my God, I love tarot. Relationship. Relationships are meant to be the divine union and fusion of like-minded souls. Meaningful relationships are based on higher truths rather than idle pleasures. A trustworthy relationship keeps our heart open because it is built on the common ground of goodness and genuineness. It is a deep understanding and mutual respect of differences. For an intimate relationship to be healthy, it must be built on the firm foundation of being good friends. The friendship needs to be unveiled and unfiltered, manifesting moral code, respect, and truth. This higher vibratory frequency then establishes a solid footing to call upon when things get rocky, as they inevitably will. Remember, relationship is connection, protection, rejection, direction, projection, affection, and every other kind of reflection. Wow, excuse me. Well, Capricorn, that reading was really cool. I hope this was helpful to somebody. If it was, remember please to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. It helps my little channel grow. And I'll see you all next week.